and welcome to Hired. This is a show where I, Caitlin, an aerospace engineer and writer, show how I've applied my unique process for getting a job and how successful it is while I am job hunting. So this is the 9th week of Hired, and I have called this episode Focusing on Job Applications, because as I said in the beginning of Hired that I had about 12 weeks starting to run down and might have to make some sacrifices in order to continue job searching. So last week I went over that I couldn't decide between being a writer and an engineer. This is pretty much a moot point to everybody who has seen this before, but I wanted to at least share that my current goal is to get a job in engineering to make enough money to get by and then work on improving writing in my spare time. For example, by posting articles on my blog, so I can at least build up some writing samples while I'm still employed as an engineer. So like last week, I'm going to show you my foundation here broken up into individual projects. So I'll show you how I'm updating the materials, networking, and developing skills with each project. So some of these projects are ongoing. I won't talk about the same ones every week, try to mix it up for you, but some of them might be the same if I worked on them. So the first project is a new one. Probably haven't seen this before. It is a web design contest that I found on the website Innocentive, which is a really cool crowdsourcing website if any of you want to check it out. The picture on the lower half of the page is from their site. So I found one that was to redesign a website to increase clarity. So what I did was I took their website and I made a mock-up of it in Microsoft PowerPoint. Yes, I don't know how to use Photoshop quite yet, at least not to that level. But yes, I made a design in Microsoft PowerPoint trying to increase clarity and add graphics and all the things that I learned in school through rhetoric. So I am pretty much done with that. I wrote a proposal to go along with the slides and the pictures that I created to explain my artistic choices. And my goal is to submit that proposal this week. So that would be pretty cool. If I win, I would get $5,000, which would be much appreciated right now. Moving on, still working on getting the National Association of Science Writers membership. As I said, I've been posting articles on my blog. Luckily, this has been going rather well lately. I've gotten some very nice feedback from the WordPress community, so thank you very much, guys, if any of you are watching this. And I even had my blog cited in another blog, so that was pretty cool. I think it's finally starting to make its way out there, and I definitely want to continue posting articles, and maybe soon enough I will get confident enough to try to submit an article to an actual magazine or newspaper publication as well, which would be pretty sweet. Moving on, I was a little focused on writing this past week. I did work on my novel. I wrote another 1,000 words, which was exciting. As you can see, my monthly percentage is creeping closer to my goal of 80,000 words. The only issue is right now I'm in an editing phase. So sometimes I'll spend an hour working on the project and I'll actually lose 26 words, but it's better than it was before. So it's an entertaining process, and the percentage complete doesn't always show how much work I've put in, but I do like seeing it creep up ever upward because my book is still a little bit too short to be considered a novel, and I would like to break at least the 50,000 word mark. So as I said, the focus this week was on job applications. Everything in green on this next slide is a new job application that I've applied for. 2 of them are in engineering and 2 of them are in writing. I applied for a position as a Boeing industrial engineer, which is doing like process improvement. I'm not an industrial engineer. There actually is a degree for that. But I did a lot of industrial engineering stuff at my old job, and I worked in manufacturing, which is where it's usually applied. So I thought it was worth a shot, an entry-level position, so that would be good. I also applied for a project management position at UW, since my last job was basically project management. I am trying to do ones I actually have a chance at getting. It's always fun applying for the challenging ones, but sometimes it's nice to apply for the ones you actually do have all the requirements for. I also try to get a job as a technical blogger and as a technical report editor for some very difficult theoretical physics stuff, which was really interesting to me. So I got really excited about that one, and I included a sample of how I would rewrite an abstract of a physics paper to make it clearer. I do think it was good that I added that, and I think it's good to find, especially in writing, some extra samples that you can send them that would help them see what you can do. Even in engineering, if you could think of something that would do it, but I haven't really found either opportunity or a reason to do that yet. So as you can see, those are 4 jobs that I have applied for in the last week. I don't know if I can do many more than that if I'm actually looking at jobs that I would like to do and submitting a good application where I rewrite my resume for every application, as I did here. So update materials, rewrite your resume for every application. Networking, I'd love to be able to do more, but the communities you see here, Boeing, UW, Elance, and Craigslist, are ones that I do not have any access to, really. And developing skills toward those jobs, I could do, but it would be nicer to put them down on the resume. So the developed skills was already included in the resume. So that's what I've focused on this week, finding jobs that are interesting to me, and I have at least some of the requirements for. I also applied for a job at Aerojet that I'm not particularly qualified for, so I didn't put it up here. But, you can do both. It's always better to apply for ones you have the qualifications for. I always do it. If I believe that I can do the job well, I will apply for it, which I like to do, at least, in case I get something that's a little bit out of my normal range of experience. So that's where I am. It's been 9 weeks, and to explain how I got to 12, that was not using money that I set aside to go back to school to do a master's program. And at this point, unless I get a job in the next few weeks, I don't think I should be using that money for school. I should instead be using it for food and rent. So with that money, I should be able to extend my hired job application, research and documentation and all of this for another 8 weeks, if not a little bit more, depending how much I can, save up and not spend. So that is this week of Hired. I will have more for you next week, more fun projects and more applications. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.